years are still left of Kali Yuga's tenure and also of the appearance of Kalki. Tartam Vani, on the other hand, informs most emphatically that changeover to next Satya Yuga shall take place after the period of Jagni ends. That is, in the 29th century AD, as per my understanding of Tartam Vani. Okay. It also says over and over that such a happening as is recently occurring in our Kshar creation present has neither happened at any of the past countless creations, nor would it ever happen in future creations. We thus see there is a big contradiction in Bhagavatam and Tartam Vani. I have said already that I could not find either in Bhagavatam or in any other Hindu scriptures the term Kalki defined. It is not defined. Or Hari in these verses to reside within their purified hearts. Well, only that much has been given out in Bhagavatam concerning Kalki. Finally, the two verses 33 and 34 inform us that is how the Satya Yuga would dawn after the end of Kali Yuga that had commenced soon after Shri Krishna left for his divine abode. That's what it explains. After a couple of verses, we find two verses, 37 and 38, prophesying about two great yogis, Devapi and Maru. Then, at that time, residing in a village called Kalapa. The two would reappear in later times and, as guided by Shri Krishna, to re-establish the ancient Varna system of India, says the prophecy. It was discussed earlier in context of both Bhagavatam and Tartam Vani. But many statements of Bhagavatam and other Hindu scriptures on one hand and Tartam Vani on the other had to be tied up first. It is impractical to discuss here those tie-ups to support my contention that Kalki would manifest in hearts of all 12,000 Brahma Srishtis, and not only in one personage, as claimed by scriptures. Perhaps they chose to reveal the identity only of the first individual in present Kali Yuga, in whom the experience of audience with Aksharatit Purushottama would descend, namely the Sadguru Shri Devchandra Ji. It is interesting to note that ancient text of Yoga Vasishta lists out names of several habitats where highly evolved yogis reside, rather than in mentally polluted places of mass population. Two villages, Shambhal and Kalapa, mentioned in Bhagavatam, are covered in that list also of Yoga Vasishta. But in it, the Sadguru was called as Devadatta. It is my contention, a horse on whom Kalki would ride and initiate the process of decimating the darkness of ignorance. In next prophecy, he is referred to by his name in earlier existence, the historic personality called Devapi, who along with his royal dynasty has been mentioned in other scriptures too, besides Bhagavatam. As we saw earlier, the Sadguru was made an instrument by God. He was made an instrument by God to disclose what only seems to be a new way of categorizing the mankind, the three Srishtis of Tartam Vani. Bhagavatam says Devapi and Maru will re-establish the ancient system. Which ancient system? It is the fourfold Varna Vyavastha. My two books need to be perused for more details. Even then, it is quite likely that most of the Hindu scholars would accept my contention that Kalki had come and even gone in 16th/17th century. They will find it very difficult to believe, because it is said in Bhagavatam and others that he will come by the end of Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga is explained as for like 32,000 years since the time Shri Krishna died. So how will they accept? They would find it even more preposterous to accept that Kalki would manifest during the period of Jagni up to 29th century in a total of 12,000 personages rather than in only one, the Vishnu Yasha of Bhagavatam's prophecy. I know it is very hard for most people to believe that, but this is my contention I am referring. This is my research. In such a situation, I can only say that they would face many more astounding revelations given out by Tartam Vani. I can here point out at major two factors that emboldened me to express my contention. I know it is a rather preposterous contention, but still I have made it. I have stuck my neck out. First one was enormity of the task of drastically slashing down the tenure of only our present Kali Yuga, not all, of our present Kali Yuga from 432,000 years to only 6,000 years, as is often mentioned by Tartam Vani. It implies that all of 12,000 Paratmas would have to shed their delusions. Not one, all. To spread their most divine auras in the world via their respective Brahmasrishtis. Only then the changeover to next Satya Yuga would take place in such a short time span. That is, it also often claims that it would stand corroborated by several scriptures of the world. I have tried to show a few of them in my two research theses. Bible too informs us that all people of God shall shine like suns during the end times. That is how the new age will be heralded. It created an impression that since most ancient times, God would have kept on disclosing more and more spiritual truths as mankind drew nearer to the time of his judging it, and also to restore the vanishing spirituality. I have projected this view in section 2.5 of my English book, 17th Century Revelations. I am thankful to Lord Pranath Global Consciousness Mission of having undertaken this great task of Jagni in the world. I hope it will go a long way in spreading the awareness of the message of Tartam Vani, which came out through Mahamati Pranath, earlier his Guru, and which is really of great contemporary relevance to our world.